I invested in Office Pride because I was looking for a business opportunity that I could systematize. I've looked at a lot of different businesses and I didn't find a whole lot out there for a reasonable entry fee that I could systematize the way I can with Office Pride. And then from that step, I went into doing some research into leadership of the company. One thing I've learned over the years is that before you invest in anything, you should really study and understand the leadership of the company, because you could be the Walmart of the internet. You could have a Walmart right now, but if they don't have the right leadership, they'll be the next Kmart.
Office Pride is a good investment due to, most of all, is the Christian-based organization that we have. It's honoring God, so also, most of all, it just puts God first.
Well, my son, I wanted to have something for him to leave to him, and I wanted to have some retirement, so I thought it was a good investment.
Well, we were looking for a way to supplement Dennis's ministry income, and we saw an advertisement in the newspaper, and Dennis had been looking at different businesses, and once we talked to Todd and saw that our faith basically matched and that we would be a good fit, good partnership together, we thought we could do this.
I invested in Office Pride because I like the principles that it was built on, the biblical principles, the excellence in service, the servant's heart that it asks of us.
I invested in Office Pride because of the brand. I had looked at the several different janitorial companies, whether they were Jani-King, Jan Pro, Bonus, which I'm starting to become very competitive with, and I felt that Office Pride was the best company out there for janitorial.
You have support. You're not in business by yourself. You have an entire corporate team that's there to help you, and you can't buy that anywhere else.
Office Pride is a good investment because it benefits you financially and also spiritually, which is priceless. Office Pride has been the greatest experience that I've ever had.
Well, there's always a lot of concerns, but honestly, Office Pride took most of the concerns away, and I found it to be real smooth.
My main concerns, I think, was just in getting a quick enough start, because at the time I got started financially, I was pretty strapped, and I needed to make sure I got some accounts rather quickly so that I could get on my feet and get things moving. That was my main concern.
Well, as in any business, I believe an entrepreneur's main concern will always be capital and cash flow.
Probably the thing that we were the most concerned about before we invested with Office Pride was, are they the real deal? A lot of people out there say, you know, we're believers and whatnot, but maybe don't walk the talk. It didn't take too long to figure out that this was legitimate and genuine. So, and then the business plan itself was going to provide us with a way to make money, but also be in ministry.
The thing that I was most concerned about with starting the franchise was the pricing. The pricing for several of the other janitorial businesses and the amount of business that they promised was very high at the time, and I wanted to go as fast as I could go, as high as I can go, based on my ability.
Before we invested in Office Pride, we were concerned of the quality of the systems that we were getting into, and we were also concerned how much money it would take and if we were capable of learning all the new information.
I was probably most concerned about how much it would cost and what if we were up for the challenge of starting our own business and ready for that.
The main concerns that I had was finances, getting new accounts, getting them started. I just didn't know how that whole thing was going to turn out.
My main concerns when starting my business with Office Pride was the initial investment. I didn't know if I was going to make that money back the first month, the second month, third month. I didn't even know if Office Pride was a legitimate company. But due to the values and the studies I studied with Office Pride, it made me more comfortable, and meeting the guys down at Office Pride, I mean, with open arms. They made me feel like I was part of the family. I was like a brother to them, and that what primarily made me comfortable with starting a franchise with Office Pride.
The things I've learned from my Office Pride experience is that customer satisfaction has to always be number one. in anything that you do, you have to treat the customer with utmost respect and always honor God with your work. Do the very best you can, and treat your employees right, and just ask God for the blessings in your business, and sit back and watch Him bless it.
I learned to be a better businessman. I didn't really understand what it meant to have your own business, to really fully be a businessman, but I really learned to actually be what it takes to be a businessman, and it's hard. But it taught me discipline. It taught me to be more caring and more concerned about others' needs versus my own. And it just taught me time management most of all.
Well, I've learned how to run a business, which I didn't know before.
I've learned that business is a lot of fun, number one. But then also, there's some real challenges within it. The minute that you think, hey, we've made it, then you get a curveball. And they call it the roller coaster in training. But the great thing about Office Pride, again, we know that the Lord's in control of this. And so every single curve that comes our way is just an opportunity for God to shine. And it's fun to be able to call in here, headquarters, and talk about that very thing and to be encouraged in the faith.
Since starting with Office Pride, I've learned more about the Bible than anything. I've learned how to clean toilets, but you get that practice and you get that down pretty quickly. But what I've learned is about the Bible and reading the Bible and fellowshipping with fellow man.
Since I've been part of Office Pride, we've learned so many things. We've come a long way in product knowledge and systems knowledge.
We've learned a wealth of information that it's great and it's not as scary as we thought it was.
And I've also learned that prayer is everything as well. With Office Pride, they're a Christian-based company. And prayer, they believe in that. They believe in treating people right. And me having my franchise had actually gave me a whole nother foundation to stand on, and a whole nother look on life as far as dealing with people, customers, and understanding what exceeding customers' expectations is all about.
The culture of Office Pride is upbeat. It's positive thinking, it's moving forward, it's, again, seeing challenges as opportunities. It's genuine, it's trustworthy, it's for profit. And so we're excited when we make a profit, and we rejoice with one another when we do.
The people at Office Pride are like family. They're committing, loyal, honest, Christian-based.
I think the easiest way to describe it would be they're a company with integrity. They do what they say they'll do.
Office Pride's culture is very revolved around honoring God with everything you do, high character and integrity in everything that's done here. And I know that Office Pride goes through great lengths to make sure that they find the right people and put the right people in place so that we can brand Office Pride as being a company that's a little bit different from everybody else out there. And the fact that we want to make sure that we are the best at what we do. It's not always maybe having the most quantity, but having the best quality and having the best reputation. I think that's what Office Pride's all about.
I would describe the culture of Office Pride as great. Relax, fun environment, place to be in, people to talk to, and people to be with.
I would best describe the culture of Office Pride as a kind of a brotherly business where we can all work together and we can grow from the inside out.
The culture of Office Pride is like a family. Everyone is so warm and helpful.
The culture of Office Pride is the brotherhood, the Christian brotherhood. That's the culture to me. Because if you deal and work with a group of people that love the Lord, first and foremost, and then love you as a brother, that's just the best feeling to me that I've ever had growing up in this small family in a pretty bad neighborhood and has not really had people to show me love the way Office Pride has been.
Well, when you're servicing smaller clients, number one, first and foremost, there's a higher profit margin when you're seeking smaller clients. Also, when you're dealing with a smaller client, you can tend to build a relationship a lot better than when there's a smaller client.
I like doing smaller buildings because if you have a lot of smaller buildings and something flubs up and you end up losing an account, it doesn't kill you. If you have all your eggs in a couple big buildings and you lose one of them, it could mean you lose half your income.
I like doing small buildings better because you can close them a lot quicker and get more clients.
I love cleaning small buildings. Wow, tremendous profit in small buildings. You can keep employees in small buildings, lots of flexibility. They don't cancel because you're able to create really deep relationships with people. Small business owner, I'm a small business owner. We speak the same language.
With Office Pride, I like doing some of the smaller buildings because I also get to talk to the CEOs of companies and the CFOs, which are usually smaller organizations with about anywhere between 10 to 40 people. So you get a lot of the decision makers in front of you very quickly, and you know exactly how you're cleaning their building, and they're very pleased with how you're cleaning their building.
We like working with the smaller buildings because that gives us an opportunity to show our professionalism. It puts us in a position where we can stand out from the regular mom and pop shops that we're competing against.
Office Pride is good at getting smaller buildings because we can bring in our professionalism, build a relationship with those small businesses.
Easy to maintain. When you have a smaller account, it's easy to take care of that small account versus a big account.
The small accounts, they really add up. I don't think I'll be where I'm at right now without them.
I think we're heads and shoulders above mom and pops, strictly because we bring a lot more to the table that they don't have. Typically, they don't have insurance that we carry. Typically, they don't have employee screenings the way that we screen our employees, making sure that we put the best people in our accounts, people that don't have criminal histories and things like that, people that are going to treat our customers well. And a lot of times, I don't think you get that with the mom and pops. It's typically mom and pops tend to do the work themselves. They tend to stay a little bit smaller, and in doing so, then they don't have the customer service that they need on the other end.
You have a lot of support from corporate staff. Our buying power, because we are franchise owners, these are just unprecedented things that you can't get as a mom and pop operation, and that's what makes Office Pride so great.
Small mom and pop operations don't have the professionalism that we demonstrate, and I think we can get them a lot easier accounts because we come on very professional.
I like to compete against the small mom and pop operations because they're really no competition. We come in with the professionalism that they lack. We come in being able to do the job better typically with consistency at a lower cost.
And we do compete with a lot of ma and pa type operations, but I think with Office Pride, our advantages are with the insurances that we have. We have the $1 million policies, we have the workman's comp policies, the vehicle policies, and when you come with companies to that degree and you have your court certificate of liability, they are taking you very seriously and they're willing to pay the price that you're asking for.
We like to compete against small mom and pop companies because we can offer more professionalism. We can give that personal service, that excellence in service. We also carry with us the bonding and the insurance that a lot of those don't.
We're uniform versus then your mom and pop. They're just running around without any uniforms on. So you don't know who's cleaning your facility. So when you see Office Pride, then you know that, okay, that's Office Pride and they'll take care of business.
Office Pride, again, is a Christian-based company. And we're not just talking about small mom and pop companies. We're talking janitorial companies in general. Half of these companies nowadays don't even put God first. And I think that's the biggest edge that Office Pride in general has, is putting God first, putting God in their business. And with all that, they're always going to be successful. We're always going to be successful. I'm always going to be successful.
Absolutely. Office Pride has been one of the better things that's happened to us as far as a business. It's given us extra income and a great company to work with.
Yes, I would, because I believe that Office Pride is a great business opportunity. Again, because it gives you the opportunity here to create a business bigger than you. my goals in life are to eventually have a business with a system in place where I can do things that are more meaningful to me, missionary work and things like that. And when I grow the business big enough, I can have management in place, I can have salespeople in place, I can have customer service reps in place that gives me the opportunity to do the things I want to.
The money's been phenomenal. I've never made this much money in my life, and I have a small ministry that I do, and I feed families. And due to Office Pride being a blessing to me, I was able to feed 600 families this Thanksgiving.
For my friends and my family, it's been great. Most importantly, for me, giving people jobs has been very important, and I would have not otherwise been able to do that had Office Pride not existed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely would do this again.
And knowing what I know now, I would definitely make the same decision to join Office Pride. And the reason why I would join Office Pride is because I know everyone in this organization from top to bottom. And there's really no bottom person. Everyone's the same, and that's the reason why.
Yeah, we would surely make the same decision again. We've found a family that we could work with here, and we really enjoy the fellowship that we can have in being involved in a business.
I would absolutely make the same decision in investing in Office Pride again. If I had to do it over again, it's a great company to work with. They have awesome training. It really sets you up to start your own business and be educated for that.
If I had to do it all over again, I would take everything that I have and reinvest back into Office Pride.